Hello everyone, this is Chris Surface here with SDI course FTE 217, week 8's assignment. This is the final assignment for the course. So on this, got 4 parts here. Part 1, it says reflecting on your interactions with your instructor and fellow classmates throughout this course. Please share insights that you have gained during these interactions. So reflecting upon this course and the interactions I've had, it's been eye-opening. Even though each one comes from a different background and varying fields of firearms knowledge, we all were able to learn something and take things away from this course. One thing that I really enjoyed seeing is how every one of us has our own ways of doing things. We get to see this during our discussions, how different people will troubleshoot and how we just kind of see things from our perspectives. A lot of this was for like troubleshooting and just handling customers in general. Alright, for part 2, preparing the guidance that you receive this course, the guidance offered by other recognized experts in the field, and do you find any discrepancies? So when I was comparing these with the instructors along with experts I find in the field, via YouTube videos or just different forums that you find online, it seems like there weren't any discrepancies that really stood out to me. I think the majority of the instructors for this course have looked at all these experts and have learned from them as well. So with that being said, it makes it a lot easier for us as students to be able to use their guidance along with the guidance and stuff that you find on these YouTube videos. Now for part 3, it says when gunsmithing, is there only one way to skin a cat, or are there often multiple ways of accomplishing tasks? If there are multiple ways of accomplishing gunsmithing work, are there any fundamental principles that should be maintained at all times, and why? So for this, there's definitely different ways to skin a cat when it comes to gunsmithing. Most people that work in any kind of profession, whether it be like gunsmithing or mechanics or anything like that, they tend to have their own little way of doing things. I know personally I have my own little ways of doing things compared to another gunsmith that's near here. The main thing is, though, when you're doing this, you want to keep safety in mind. Not only your safety, but safety for the customers and firearms. You want to make sure they're protected. You don't want to sit there and damage one of them accidentally. So with that being said, you also want to make sure the firearm is safe and ready for the customer to use. You don't want to sit there and give them a firearm that's you've only went through and just fixed one portion of. You didn't go and check over the entire gun to make sure there's nothing else that's wrong that could possibly hurt them or hurt the firearm itself. All right, on to part 4. What future education and training will you pursue to continue building your understanding of important gunsmithing principles? I really plan on pursuing some more stuff, at least through SDI here. I'm gonna see what else they have to offer. I know there's some handgun courses I'd like to take and try to learn those as well. Something else I'd like to look into is maybe possibly taking some machinist classes. I've bought myself a mill and I plan on buying a lathe here in the near future. That way I could be able to work on guns and be a little more in-depth and build and make parts that you may no longer be able to find. Another thing I'd like to do is I'd like to look into more of some firearm finishing classes. I dabble a little bit right now in Cerakoting and hydro dipping, but I'd like to get classes to learn a little bit more of those, how to do those a little bit better and more proficiently, and see if there's any kind of cool tricks to it. But other than that, I plan on just keeping an open mind. Anytime I see some classes that I think I'd have time to do and learn, I'm going to try to do those. All right, that's it for this assignment.